Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. This is not a funny matter, but it's extremely hilarious in that we went from professional wedding thief to Pamela gave us a better name. Wedding heist. So, and he mentioned something before he left. He spoke about the fact that this could actually happen through the printers of the invitation letter and all of that, which will speak to why she knows the color. She has all access code, all access pass to get into the event. But you're wondering, how would they not know she's not a sister? How would they not know she's not the event planner? You know how many of our family members do we know?
So that's why most of the time, when people are getting married, they delegate duties. You station yourself where there's food and monitor the food. You monitor drink. You're specialist picking the money for me. So a lot of persons want to delegate duties to their trusted person. So that's why I want to even tell you that you're going out for a party. It's not for you to just lose guard or you want to party, drink, and forget that it's a place where you have different people. You have thieves, you have a lot of persons there. So you have to actually guard yourself. Places like that, you don't leave your items unattended to. Yeah. And I also think that most of these event centers, the security people should maybe enhance their workability by actually saying, okay, you that you're coming, sign a register, what do you have? If you go to a police station and you want to go and see someone, if you're having 2 phones, they tell you, drop your phones, they tag the phone. So if you're going to a party, what do you have? Your gadgets.
They went to go and parry.
Yes, but for security reasons, what if you go into that place and then, no, not lockers. Not lockers, that's too much. So what I'm saying is, if I'm going to your event and I have 2 phones, I sign it, I have 2 phones, I have this, I have that. And when you're going out, I will say to you... Are you talking about Nigerian party or Igbo party? We are thinking of ways to prevent this. Because if we don't talk about the security, somebody can go in there with a bomb or something. Are you saying because it's Nigeria, we should allow it fly? So we should actually put these things into play. And then I'm wondering how, like you said, how she got into the circle to say, I am the bride's sister, I am the groom. Does it mean you don't know your family at all?
No, let me tell you why that happened.
With your family members.
Why that happened. Well, we don't do a lot of planning in our country. A lot of things is feelings and vibes. Don't worry. No, we'll take care of this, we'll take care of this. We don't think about it specifically. What happens when this happens? So you find out in the heat of the moment, you're now looking for, who is there? You come and stay in the room with this person. That's one. The second thing is that we're afraid to disrespect our elders. Yeah. So when someone says, I'm the auntie of the bride, you too, you just be TV. Because if you were to ask her, how dare you, you are not the auntie of the bride, then you now find out she's the auntie of the bride. You know that your matter has ended. So a lot of us want to err on the side of caution. So that's why...
Can we now tell them when... I'm sorry. Can we now tell them when we are inviting them? You know, most times when you send invitation, you say, convert all gifts to cash transactions. You can actually still tell them for security reasons, these are what will, the steps you're going to go through when you're coming to the event. I think you can make them know so that when you get there, you know that's what to expect.
It's too much. I think it's too much for you just to come and attend my party. Then I will now start making sure that you are taking care of your... Just come, just be responsible for your... We need to be responsible for our items when we come, when we go to such places with plenty people. Because even sometimes some of the guests are even thieves themselves. You don't know when they come. Because there was a wedding I went for. Of course, we were all taking pictures. She just gave her phone to somebody and said, yeah, take us. You know, come.
No way.
And that's how she... The person just put the phone in his pocket and he left.
You're joking.
I'm telling you. That was what happened.
Regular guests and the person... Some people are...
Minus even that. Even
kleptomania.
Yeah, they would kleptomania, carry correct phone, say kleptomania. That's not kleptomania. That's correct stealing. It's thieving. And that was another time again, there was this wedding we had in our house. Everybody came and all of that. The moment, you know, we had to start removing... because they stole extension box, all these fuse, everything. Bulb, look at you. They stole...
In the village, Abi?
Which village? In the house.
Bulb.
Wait, yes. How
engagement ceremony.
Okay, how were they able to do that?
He's in the house.
He's in the house. So they can just come, they will pick stuff, they pick things, even picture frame. They just pick things.
How are you able?
No, because you know the way traditional weddings
there are plenty people in the house.
It's inside your house. They do actually for Yoruba, we can even do outside, but from other cultures, you come into the house to negotiate. And while they are having the conversation between left and right, the emotion of the moment has distracted them. Somebody can just unplug extension box and wrap it inside wrapper and go.
They steal everything. Slippers, so everything.
But you see, when you cannot tell me to be, when the gbedu enter my body, I'll just stand up and start dancing in the party.
Exactly. Do you know there was another one? There was another one that we had souvenirs. They gave us souvenirs. We sat down. It was time to dance. We left our souvenirs and went.
Before you came back, it was gone.
All the souvenirs are gone.
I was going to say, see how far we've come. There used to be a time where people would take their videos to show how people were stealing. So then they would steal what was on their table. So they would steal the souvenirs beside them. They would take extra food. They would steal the charger plates. They would steal the vases.
Yeah.
But now they've gone as far as this woman's
wedding heist.
Yes, this wedding heist. But for me, I think we need to be careful. You mentioned bomb, because that was my mind was going, especially when Amaka told us about the tear gas. I'm like, how do you spray your guests tear gas, or whoever it is sprays your guests tear gas, and you're not immediately the next day sending people serious apology letters? So imagine if it was not tear gas. Imagine if it was something else. So people now, I'm thinking those hosting the events host themselves, and the event planners themselves need to start looking at events as a serious thing where they have to provide serious security. It's not enough to just say, hey, we have a space, you come in. Because now the levels that people are willing to go, it's scary. For a woman to sit down and is able to concoct this whole plan where she has gone from one wedding to the other and she's stealing money, phones, wigs. This is a person that has put a plan into place. And you know one thing with this story, when you are hearing this story and trying to learn,
people are saying it's not possible that the story get K-leg because it just sounds ridiculous.
No, there are some people that are listening to the story and thinking, how can I up her? How can I do this better than her? And thinking, oh, so there is a space for something like this. What can we do? So yes, event planners need to start thinking, what do they say about when the bird learns to fly without stopping, the hunter has to shoot without stopping. So that is how event planners should start thinking. Because what will happen is that next thing, hosts will start suing you event planners. How did I come for your event? You said you were going to provide me security, provide this.
Then the bouncer got drunk at the event.
Or imagine I'm at an event and then people come in and they ask all event people to lie down on the floor.
Hey,
how?
We'll not reach that level. We'll not reach
that reminds me.
Meanwhile, you said something about overcrowding. So even if there's a CCTV camera and if you have too many people, if I've been to very classy events, like each table just had, see Mariah's mom's burial. It wasn't overcrowded. She was very particular because she didn't want, everybody had their table, the crowd was kept at a minimum, and that was because it was a huge struggle for her to maintain that capacity. The hall could take 1,000 people. They said we were only going to do 700, knowing that some people might come extra, it would spill beyond, but we'll not get to 1,000. So we can still coordinate and see each other. Have you gone to parties? I went to a wedding. Even with governor and see the videos party now. Even big, you were struggling, and this is a professionally planned wedding, and the crowd was that much. That kind of place you can choking. Once you have overcrowded the venue, the likelihood of theft becomes higher because everybody just hit you like this. Your wristwatch has gone. They slap you, your ring has fallen off because it is just so crowded. So we need to work on that crowd control element of our wedding.
There was something that you said that for me, I said I have an idea for, where the lady knows the Ashebi.
Yeah.
There was a party I went for. The family had a different Ashebi that was not known to anyone else.
Exactly.
So if that lady comes and says, I am this, but you're not wearing the color, then I know. So maybe there's some things now you keep secret, where you don't have to put on the cards. Only family members will know exactly. Because now we're dealing with thieves,
wedding
and armed robbers.
Professional
wedding.
Remember,
after Davido's wedding, you saw the amount of money that was sprayed, dollars. Remember, after the wedding, he posted something like a cryptic message. He said, now the thing where the spray be this, obviously more than half of the money was gone. But he couldn't say anything because it's Davido. Now that actually I'm supporting your suggestion when you say you should have your guest list. Where you have most of these thieves operate smoothly is where you have unplanned weddings or one bed, just anyhow. But if you have your guest list, are you coming? Please confirm, yes, if you're coming. What are you having? On the table, you have the list. Okay, this is Tokpe, Abigail, and Miriam. This is your table. So when you come, you know where you're sitting. That kind of event, if it's checkmate, there's nothing you can even do. Like, you can't steal there.
I was going to talk about what happened how many years ago. I think it was 4 years ago, where allegedly the Oni of Ife, 4 governors lose their phone at the wedding of the daughter of the governor then of Ogun State, Amosun, that the Oni and 4 governors lost their phone. Please, let's take Tijani.
What did they do to the security of that?
Oh, so sorry. Is Tijani still there? Oh, sorry. So sorry we lost your call. Please call back. People want to know the story of how my husband's money disappeared. And they say, why is Tokpe saying my money and his money? We had not got... This was traditional wedding. When husband comes outside to do his prostrating, they spray him money. People will collect his own money. When the bride is coming out, they spray her money. And then I tabled my money to the family concessions, and we could account for my own. The mother was like, true. Where is my own money that they sprayed me? Then we had to go to the video, and we were checking the video. They sprayed money, true. Somebody collected the bag. We asked the person. The person said no. We asked the person's father. The father said no, he couldn't have stolen the money. But the last time we saw this bag, you were in the custody of the bag. Where did you put the bag? I cannot remember. Anyhow, that was how the money disappeared. We never recovered that money from them. And so it means it can also happen within the family. So what Mariam said is extremely important. Plan your wedding. Put every scenario into plan. Who will take the money? Where do we keep the money? Like, the moment when they finish paying the money, who picks the money from the floor? In what bag do we keep? Like, when we are going when you are going for the party, now, thankfully, they no longer spray money, so they have a box, which means there is a place where the money is being kept. And who is the custody of the box? Who is the custody of that box immediately it is done, so that it moves on immediately? How do we deal with, I'd like Ramatu to tell us suggestions on how we can deal with escorts. When you bring VIPs to your occasion, they don't come alone. They will have their PA, they will have their camera crew, they have escorts. Especially when you're bringing in governors or you're bringing in ministers, how do you... Oh, let me take this phone call. I'm so sorry, I'll come to you. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hello,
Ilesomi, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Ilesomi.
You're welcome to the show.
Yes, I wish to share my experience with you on the topic you are discussing.
Okay.
Mine was about 19 years ago when I got married. So it was a rental hall with security. So myself and my wife were at the high table. Somebody had a caterer. Somebody went to the caterer and collected our food. Somebody unidentified fellow and told the caterer that he was getting the food for the groom and the bride, and the person took the food away. So as I was finishing the wedding, they said, okay, where is our food now after the whole set of the whole event? They said somebody came for your food and said he was taking it, taking the food to the groom and the bride. He discovered somebody else and taking the food away. That was our experience, even at that 90 years ago in Lagos here. And it was a rented hall, air condition, security and everything. The person just maneuvered, came in and took our own food away. So that was my experience about 9 years ago. So it's not a new thing. It's not something that just happened.
Thank you for that story. It's a major surprising story. What if, God forbid, they poison or something?
Exactly.
So scary.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk
they
about...
have access to
when you go to the place and say you want to take food to the couple, they will
they
give you
usually they serve the couple's food aside.
19 years ago, that could have happened, but now, no, they won't allow anyone to just go.
It has to be someone, bridesmaid or
But what do you think we can do to handle that? Then we'll go to the event center.
Yeah, so that's, for me, if you are going to come with your aides, that's additional security for me. So you have to tell me beforehand, and I'll plan for them so that when they come, I can as well even tell them to stay at strategic points and still help in watching and
So the story that Amaka told us was that they said some VIPs came in, and the VIP, when was leaving the party, dashed money to people.
Okay.
Like the person threw the money out, and people gathered to sort of pick the money, scrabble for the money, and he was a bit scared. So his security shot tear gas. Oh. It was that tear gas that got into the hall that led to everybody panicking. So now, when things like this happen, not discussing it is not us not preparing for eventualities. When we discuss it, event planners are better armed with different scenarios to help them manage such situation. So we know that in most event centers in Lagos, there are hoodlums outside the event centers that help with parking of extra people. And those hoodlums, even if you are not parking, there's expectation that you should drop money. Even when you drop money for parking, they still expect you to do money. How can we help? What are the advice you would give? How can the government do this in a way that does not, people's businesses will not have to shut down? What can the event planners do? What can the hall owners of the venues do to protect the people that are just there to attend a celebration? I know you wanted to say
they should just have added security. They should just have a plan. Just as someone has contracted you as an event planner, you know you must serve food, and the person would have told you what they want to eat. You know that you must get the ushers, some of them. You have the security. The next thing is, most of these people, they have planning conference. You sit down, you serve table this, table that. You're the security, you're taking care of this, and you're taking care of that. Now, I wanted to say something to avoid missing money and all that. I think most people now use paper money, dumb money. They don't use the actual one. So you're sending directly to the couple's account, and then you're just using, is it the dumb money you will steal? So that works, actually. And somebody was saying the guest list is the best, because if you have RSVP'd and you're saying +1 or +2, they already know that you're coming with two people. The next is, what's the name of the people that are coming? So from the gate there, what's your name? You look at the register, you think, I don't think that's too much to ask for an event. I don't think it is.
You know, let me take this phone call. Zuliat has called in from Ojokoro.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry. All right.
You know how we've always compared ourselves to Oyinbo? Like Oyinbo people that don't like to invite people for wedding, for party. Oyinbo people that, I think Oyinbo people went through what we are going through today and learned their lesson, and now they're living the life that they're living right now, because we're headed there. Remember when we used to throw parties and we'd say, come one, come all. You didn't have to know who was throwing the
Can we just go back there? When we do traditional weddings in the village, everybody in the village will eat.
But we cannot do that anymore because we have heists happening left,
the
right,
word
and
was
center.
saying that people had food.
Good.
Food was one of the least problems of most families.
Yes.
But now food is a major problem in most homes.
No, I don't even think food was it's stealing. You can eat.
It's stealing.
Yeah,
but don't steal.
Yeah, so the thing is, because life is evolving, things are changing, people are weirder than they used to be. We are constantly taking steps to prevent, eventualities like that. So here we are now today, and I'm thinking that one thing I've noticed also with some people that want to throw big man party, you would pay for the hall, you pay for the food, but you don't want to pay enough for your security.
Exactly.
You don't want to pay enough for the planning. You don't want to pay enough for the food soldiers that will make sure that every event... Yes. But you want everyone to come and see this wow thing. But everything else that's supposed to make sure that you have the best party, the most organized party, you don't want to put your money in there. And, it does not speak well. So for me, if you want to show me your money, you want to show me your wealth, put the money in different places. Then I know that you have enough money to throw such a big party. If you don't have that sort of money, throw your intimate small wedding parties or whatever it is.
So that the family members will now say they are angry with you because you did not invite them. Funsho has called in from me now. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the show.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
This your topic is an interesting topic. You see, let me share my experience with you. You see, this thing it has been long. It's just coming out in another dimension now. You see, like the last caller said, I had an experience too in Asia. I don't like sparing money, So my nephew was ready. I was okay, let me just put the money in an envelope in my pocket. Let me just go and dance and then drop the envelope to them. Before 2 minutes, the envelope in my pocket has disappeared. I never knew who she took the money. So this thing is a nice topic. And again, I want people that are listening to be aware and to take note that there is a lot of things that happen during wedding. So they can steal your phone, they can steal your money, they can steal your souvenir. So it's very important. If you are going for an event, make sure you are prepared. Always guiding.
Always guiding. My husband, I always feel bad when he says I cannot take my 2 phones when we are going to a party. We like drop one in the car. Why do you need to carry 2 phones? Only one is enough for you because you're going for a party. I'll be like, this one is business. This one is personal phone. Take one. So now I'm seeing the reason, because you probably, if you have just 1 phone, it will be in your hand. But when you're having 2, it's likely you drop it or something per time. And that vigilance is important. But I think that is the caller alluded to the fact that it's not something new. It's always been happening. Yeah. It's just that they have become more professional in how they are doing it now. It's now a professional. It's like the way they've turned from kidnapping basic one into now is now a career path for them to do. So we need to start curbing it fast before people start aspiring for it.
Of one wedding story that we took on here about a lady who I think she was celebrating her 70th birthday. It was a huge milestone. And she took the phone and was cursing the guest at the party because she found out that those who paid for Ashebi or in one way or the other contributed for that party happening were outside, and people were seated at her event dressed in the Ashebi that they did not pay, that they didn't buy from her, and she was cursing them. And you know, at that time I said that I thought that they deserved it, you know, and people were like, no, why would she do that? She's an elderly woman, why would she not? For me, that's another form of stealing.
When you go and buy the Ashebi in the market and show up for the party.
You are not part of the party. You have just done what this woman has done. Where she would get, you know, where she would go get the colors, come into a party, and because of those colors, she has access to places she shouldn't have access to. So when you do that to other people for their parties, that's what you're doing. You may not go as far as this heist, but you're sitting on someone's seat that deserved to be seated there. You're eating the food for someone that deserves it. Meanwhile, that person is on the outside. Yes, but you know, this is where the list
comes to you.
Start looking inward.
Let me take Michael from Ikorodu. Michael has called into the show. Good morning, Michael. So sorry. So you were going to say...
Yeah, so this is where the list comes to play. You understand? If there was a list and it was well planned, those ones will not be outside. Because the ones that will come in, of course, they'll be like, you are not supposed to be here. Stay outside. And then the ones outside...
But you know that there was a time that they'll say, if you don't swear Ashebi, you will not eat.
Yes.
Ashebi was the way to enter. So what they will now do, they will now, if you will buy Ashebi, 5 yards, then 3 of us will now say, just give us 1 more yard. You now see that they'll use the Ashebi just for the upper parts, and they'll use another fabric for the middle. You don't see. We used to do.
Some people I will never forget at YK's nephew's wedding. Because the way I bought my full Ashebi, the way I sold mine was just a bit of it. And Ketensha was giving out gifts, and she passed me. I said, Auntie, why did you pass me? She said, oh, the one is only here. So she gave it to me.
You know how they say that? People who sell Ashebi, you know, if this thing is 10,000 in the market, they sell it 20 or 30,000. And sometimes they buy souvenirs. So some people will say, this market that we know is 10,000, you're selling it. I will go to the market and buy it. But what I wanted to point out is, okay.
Let me take this call, because if Ifeoluwa is an event planner and she has called into the show, we'd like to get more event planners and bouncers to have contribute to this conversation. Welcome to the show. Good morning, Ifeoluwa.
Good morning, ma'am.
All right.
I'm calling from Lagos. I'm an event planner. My brand name is 247
Again.
So I just want to share my little experience, my opinion on this program this morning. So all of these things, a perfect event, a satisfactory event falls back to the client. We have problems as an event planner due to the fact that the clients increase their number of guests. They will tell us 400 guests. At the end of the day, we're having 700 guests. Even the top event planners, they are all facing this challenge. So having seats at the venue is not our fault. There's no how we can manage this 100%, because the clients have to help us. If the clients are not helping us to manage their guest list, there's no magic the event planners want to perform.
Exactly.
Some people will tell us, don't you know me? I'm the bride's mother sister. Yes. My guest even the clients themselves on the day of the event, they will say A, and at the end of the day, we are having B. We have a plan. When it comes to guest list, they are starting everything. They don't follow
It's frustrating.
They don't follow the procedures.
Yeah.
So there's no, and again, another challenge we have is vendors. Even the top vendors in the event industry, we don't have professional vendors. We are lacking professionalism in the business. Professionalism.
Thank you so much, Ifeoluwa.
If you go abroad, I travel abroad very well frequently. I see how they do their things. For Nigerians, caterers, even they don't put in their best to be very professional. Bouncers, even if you pay them 50,000 today, the top of the top will still collect tips. It's not about the brand. It's the people they are employing.
Thank you.
Professionalism is lacking.
Yeah, very, very true.
Thank you so much, Ifeoluwa. So it's the professionalism. They are frustrating. Somebody also posted it, I think, a few days back. He does corporate events. He now said the most ridiculous things you will hear. I have a cameraman. My younger brother is a cameraman. Then later, you now say the videos from your events were not so good. But we when they send you bill, when you say send you bill, you say, how can my younger brother be the MC? Must we use a comedian or those kind of things? So when you are now trying to cut those corners, it might end up bringing issues. But I love what you said about the caterers, servers. Yeah. Have you seen what servers do nowadays?
What did they do?
Let me tell you what we do. Don't be fighting it. Just prepare. Once you enter the event, cite the server you want, tip the server, and your table will never be dry.
That's how it has always.
So imagine
your change for your, of course,
for the server. So imagine the event planners and the people that the people will eat more than the family members of the occasion.
So that's what I say about big man wedding, but not putting putting in the work and the pay to make sure. So sometimes you go for these parties, they're just. It's such a huge event place. They don't see you. How many servers are there? You find that you go for a party from that evening till late at night, you won't find anything to eat. So you bring your change. My husband
I'll come to you, Ramatu, but Zuliat has called back. So once we take Zuliat, we'll come to you, Ramatu. All right, Zuliat, welcome to the show. This is not also his network. So Ramatu.
Okay, so I was trying to say, I've been trying to think of how, she was able to steal that money and everything because when you are spraying money, when you want to change money, you go to meet those people, the people that have the new notes, and you give them the means, you give them the money. Sometimes when you give them that money to change for you, some people will not give them that money, and they'll be like, I just gave you 3,000 now. Oh, yeah, give me the money. I just gave you 3,000. Meanwhile, they didn't give her anything. She will now count that money. They'll just go and sit down.
Not Lagos ones. Their eyes open.
They will go and sit down. So I'm wondering that if maybe she was actually picking the money or something, and none of the family members could quote that.
They took because she's allegedly
the bride.
Because she's allegedly the assistant event planner.
Yeah.
They allowed her to keep the money in the room because other family members are attending to the wedding. So she was meant as an assistant event planner to stay with the money inside the room. Then from there, she escaped with the bride's phone. While the event planner will be thinking, the reason she's in the room with the money is because she's the bride's senior sister. So the lack of communication, that gap. Professional.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys have seen Oyibo movies where when they notice that someone who was not invited found their way to the wedding, they will be so insistent on making sure that person leaves. In my mind, I'm like, the person is already there. Why are you people so... what is it? Just let the person eat. But now I see it, is that anything could happen. If you're not meant to be... This is a security breach. Why are you there? For them, I'm sure they're not thinking you came to eat food.
Yes.
They may be thinking you've come here to destroy something, either security or to steal from them.
Yeah.
So we have to start thinking like that. Please, with the economy too, let's even try and make our parties smaller. Really, because the smaller, the better. For those of us that, because for those of us that come, because I'm not throwing parties, I only go for parties. For those of us that come who would like to sit at your party and eat a sumptuous meal, because sometimes we decide not to eat because we're coming for your party. Then we'll come and then we'll now leave your party and now go to a restaurant after. It's not fair. We'll go to the restaurant in the beginning.
I think on this note, we're going to round off this conversation.
I want to say one last thing. It's the audacity for me. People are no longer scared of consequences. So imagine if you see this lady and you punish her. But I tell you, if they find find this woman now, they want to punish her. You see Nigerians who bring pity party.
Yeah.
Don't do it, she's
poverty.
But I think people should be made to know that there are consequences for their actions.
But that tear gas party, I'm sure that thing will have scattered.
Yes, that will have scattered.
Because I've experienced tear gas is terrible.
Yes, that's why that was why they were able to steal everything. More things. But you know, in conclusion, when planning for your event, please do not ensure that you can take care of those you're planning for. Your event center can handle those you're planning for. Plan for every scenario. There are many professional wedding thieves or professional party thieves, and even what they call them wedding heist that might be taking place. So prepare ahead for people like that might be showing up at your wedding. Family members, stop being angry when they don't invite you to their wedding. If you really, really love them, wish them the best even as
send your gifts.
And send your gifts ahead. And security operatives within hoodlums, that one is police, neighborhood watch, LASMA, NSCDC, please let us use this for official security men so that we don't have hoodlums that might take advantage of innocent events, people that are attending the events in the area.